We're going to start with those areas that have the highest likelihood of getting you new business and then work our way down to those areas that have the lowest likelihood. So I'm going to write in 5 different paths to getting new business. If you've ever been to any of my seminars on client development, I talk about this in extensive detail. So the first one is this. Your existing clients are going to be the ones that have the highest likelihood of giving you new business. It's low risk. They know who you are, they like you, they know that you can do the job. It's easy for them to give you new business. The second path that has the second highest likelihood of getting new business are people that know you. People that have talked with you in the past. This can be an organization where they interviewed some of your candidates, but they didn't hire them. Or you presented candidates to them, but they didn't even interview them. The point is that you had a conversation with a decision maker. The third path of getting business, and I need to bring some of my squares up over here, are referrals. People that have been referred to you. This can be both internal and external referrals. Let me bring this up. The fourth path to getting new business are people that know of you. They've read about you, they've heard you speak maybe, or maybe they've heard about your firm. The fifth path, the area that has the least highest likelihood of getting success in terms of client development, are cold calls. Right there. Now let me ask you this. Where do most people in the industry spend most of their time, most of their energy, and most of their focus? In these 5 areas of client development. Exactly. Right here. In the area that has the least likelihood of getting results. What up with that? Does that make any sense to you? Why would you spend all your time in an area that gives you lower odds? Instead, we want to spend our time in places that give us a higher likelihood of success. We're going to set up a game plan based on this. You see, that's what you want to do. You want to look at what are those principles and premises that govern success. And you want to intentionally structure your client development model based on that. That's why you can be brand new in the business, and as long as you're thinking the right way, you're thinking strategically, you'll be successful in this business. I guarantee it. So let me give you an action item list of things to do to be able to get yourself some new clients right away. We're first going to look at the 6 hidden paths to getting clients. Did you know that there are 6 ways that you can get clients that are hidden, that nobody else knows about? It's not real obvious. Let me share those with you. The first one is this. You want to look at all of your existing and previous clients. Everybody, just like I talked about. Those people that have worked with you. You call them up, you get referrals. And there's a way that you can do this. I'll tell you about this in a second so that it doesn't sound like you're calling up asking them for money or something like that. But that's one of your hidden paths to getting new business, your existing and your previous clients. The second one is this. Every candidate that you have placed and all active candidates. That means if you've had a resume that came into your office within the last 6 months, that's a hidden path to getting a search. You can call those folks up and network with them. Number 3, all those active candidates will have references. You see a reference on the resume. Even if it's someone that you don't know if they're any good, you still can check a reference. But you want to call the candidate up, introduce yourself, say, we talked 6 months ago, I may or may not have things for you. I just wanted to connect and see how you're doing. Have you found anything yet? What would you be looking for? Maybe there's someone that you could place. You can say, would it be okay if I checked one of your references? Is that okay if I just check a reference on your resume? Sure, that'd be great. Terrific. I appreciate that. If I come across anything, I'll let you know. I appreciate your time. And you can even ask them for referrals. Who are some of the places that you've interviewed? And you can ask them, say, well, did you choose not to go to them or did they not give you an offer? I may have someone that can fit what they're looking for. Would it be okay if I called them? Is it okay if I mention your name? Now, you've got to have the right type of rapport with that candidate to do that. And now you're not taking advantage of folks. You're in sales. You're looking for referrals. You're looking for people that can open up doors for you. I always recommend, though, you don't want to take something without giving it back. So I always recommend, if you have a resource or an article or something you can email them that will help them, that's a good idea. Or go to the web, find some articles on job hunting, email them a bunch of links, and that'll help them. You don't want to just be a taker in life. You want to make yourself a giver as well. But you can get search assignments from their references. You call them up, and this is what I would always do anytime a candidate would send me a resume. I look at the references, and if there's a CEO or a real high-level person on there I want to get to know, I'm going to talk to the candidate, introduce myself. I appreciate you sending me this resume. I may or may not have something for you, but is it okay if I check one of your references? And then I'll keep you in the file. And if I come across something, I'll let you know. Sure. CEO on the reference. I'll call up that person. My name is Scott Love. I do executive search. I came across Gary Smith as a candidate. He put you down as reference. I wanted to do a reference check with you. Then you do your standard reference check with that high-level executive. He has a reason to call you. If you called him up and said, I want to take some search assignments from you so I can make some money. You know, if you have money, I need money, what can I do to take your money? If you left that kind of message. It's funny, I don't remember who said this, but there was a tape I listened to when I first got in the business that said, call up clients and say, I wanted to introduce myself to you so that when you have a need, you'll know who to call. But the problem is, no one's going to return that message. They're already working with other folks. You've got to find something that's going to get them to call you, and a reference is just that. You can ask them that question that I mentioned about earlier in the program. Say, if I come across someone, well, it's good talking with you, Bob. I enjoyed talking with you. I'd love to email you my contact info and keep in touch with you. Would that be okay? Sure. You know, if I come across someone that I should pick up the phone and call you and tell you about, what type of person would that be? Well, you know what? We're looking to develop a new division. If you happen to see someone that has this type of experience, I'd want to hear about that. Okay, then you take it from there. Here's another path for you. Number 4, industry thought leaders and people of influence. Look for those people that write blogs within your industry. That's the one cool thing about Web 2.0 is that there's tons of information out there. You can type in your industry and some keywords and bring up blogs and then contact those folks and say, I'm looking to reshape my strategy for this year. Where do you think the opportunities are going to be? What does your crystal ball say? And then ask them, who are some organizations that you know are going through change? Because even when people are laying off, they're still hiring folks. A lot of times companies use the economy as a way to justify layoffs, to get rid of people that they might wanted to get rid of. So now those people, they're not being fired, being let go. They've got severance, they've got some dignity. They can leave with some dignity. But even when those companies are letting folks go, they're still looking for exceptional people. If you call someone who's a position of influence for information and even a referral, who are some companies that you know are going through some change right now? And they give you a name of a company. Who do you know over there? Not, you don't know anyone over there, do you? Or do you know anyone, but who do you know over there? And then they say, so-and-so. Would it be okay if I mention your name when I call them? Sure, that's fine. When you call that person, you don't say, I was referred to you by so-and-so. You say, you and I have a common friend in John Smith, and he suggested I give you a call. This is my number. I'd love to chat with you. You and I have a common friend in so-and-so. It's the best way to mention a referral. Just because you've mentioned someone's name, they're more inclined to call you back. Remember the 5 paths of doing business, referrals, right? Number 5, management consultants. I mentioned this before. You can go to imcusa.org, look for management consultants that specialize in your space, call them up, ask for their input, ask for their advice, ask for their referrals. Number 6, you can even take it one step level further. You can create a strategic alliance with a management consultant. You can tell them that I share in my fees. And in the consulting world, it's okay for consultants to share in fees. The way a management consultant works, he gets a project. He gets a $100,000 fee for a certain project. He's going to divide that up between 3 other consultants, and each of them are going to keep $25,000, something like that. He's going to share the workload. It's the exact same way. It's not a kickback. It's a sharing in the professional services fee. We share in our professional services fee. So if you happen to know of any firms that are hiring, I'd love to hear about that. And you can even have an agreement. You can send them. We share in our fee, 10% of our fee, once it's paid after the guarantee period is over. So once you get your fee 90 days later, send them 10% of that or 5% of that. I did that once with a firm. It was like a $55,000 fee. I paid them like $5,000 from that. And it was an easy $5,000 for that management consulting firm, and it was an easy search for me to get because the firm wouldn't do it unless I knew I could help their client out, but it gave them a little bit of an extra incentive to do so.